What's going on, everybody? It's Jeff here. Welcome back to the channel. Pretty choppy Tuesday. The entire market was down. We had some earnings plays that did very well. AMC pulled really hard out of the gate and continued to sell off pretty much all day. Shorts just continue to capitalize on their positions. I said in the video I made yesterday, considering there was a little run up going into earnings and the momentum and the hype around AMC, I would not be surprised to see buy the rumors, sell the news type thing. They did have some good catalysts, good guidance, okay, new things that they talked about, everything that everybody tweeted about all day, what Adam Aaron had said on the earnings call yesterday. The earnings beat really wasn't enough to surprise investors to really capitalize and dump more money into their positions. So like I said, we'd have a little bit of a pullback. We're bouncing off the 50 moving average. Still not worried. Everything still stands. I'm sleeping very comfortably. And in the meantime, it's still investing in other plays, having fun, making money, and most importantly, learning. So in this video, I want to go over a couple things. One is going to be an earnings call that was phenomenal yesterday, why this play ran all day long and sent shorts flying to the exit zone. I'm going to go over another one, which was a low flow IPO. Those sectors, any low flow IPO has been really hot lately. Okay, we're going to talk about that one. That one ran about 500% today. And then lastly, I want to talk about some of these infrastructure plays. I had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, I bought, Blink yesterday just under 40 bucks. Do I hold? Where's it going? And so forth. So I want to talk about that and just kind of give everybody an understanding on the layout of every single infrastructure play and why it popped yesterday and began to sell off today. So let's get right into it. First off, take a look at SPY. Hard sell off at the beginning and then just choppy all day long. We got a little recovery coming into close. We got 2 minutes into close. I will tell you what, right now, this big guy right here, Tesla, really weighed it down. Elon Musk saying that he's going to be, selling some of his shares in order to pay off his taxes. I think he said it was going to be a good sized position as too. That's kind of speculative as of right now. Exactly what the size of the position. I did hear a little bit is 10% number, but we'll see exactly what happens. Just sent people flying. If you zoom out and take another look at Tesla, just like over the last 30 days, I mean, it's been an insane run from 700 all the way up to 1200. All right, so you can't really see a surprise here. But like I said, a company as big as Tesla is going to pull down the entire market with it. Now let's talk about this play right here. This one is Roblox. This is what you call an absolute earnings smash because it wasn't just the numbers, but it was also the fact that analysts had truly believed, little delay, no, kids don't play outside anymore. They truly believed that Roblox was a stay-at-home play, okay? That everybody was just going to be dumping, all the parents are going to be dumping money into their kids to be able to go, play Roblox. But once, now that school's back in session in most areas and they got their after school activities and so forth, that Roblox, their average user was going to go down. Something that has happened like we've seen to social media, Facebook, Pinterest, and so forth. But they were quite mistaken. Like I said, I'm going to laugh again. They still think kids play outside like they used to, back, 30 years ago. But so therefore, this was an absolute earnings beat. You had the CEO talking on CNN today. This was a great alert that I talked about pre-market. I said, wait for it to get over $102. It should squeeze $3 to $6 to the upside. It went even higher. I also said, look for your dip ads around the $96. And if you're asking why I say $96, take a look at this line right here. And if anybody caught this 96 dip, I mean, it was just amazing. It's a $12, $14 run all the way. But as you can see, early pre-market, you've got some resistance here, a little breakthrough, comes back around, but still makes a higher low. Another breakthrough that resistance, and then that resistance now becomes support. And you had 1, 2, 3 touches off of that. So I said, look for your ads around that. I'm looking at this on the 1 minute chart. If you take a look at it on the 5 minute chart, and I'll even zoom in for everybody, and this is something that's going to be very beneficial. So take a look at this. You could, pause this screen. But as you can see, you've got resistance right here, then that breakthrough of a little bit of resistance again. Then you see these bounces, that little candle wick, and that becomes another support area, all right, and also known as a demand zone where people are going to be buying shares, all right? This is also called soaking, when you see these wicks come through and the shares immediately get soaked up. And this one moved to the upside all day long. As you can see, it almost hit $110 into close. The next one I want to talk about is this guy right here. Okay, and this is SOPA. I don't know anything about this company, but it went from a low of $15 all the way up to $55. It ripped out of the gate numerous halts. I did not play in here because this is what I call a lotto. I'd rather go to the casino, have a few drinks, okay, throw some numbers down the roulette table, you know, drop $1,000 on some blackjack, because you can get caught up really, really hard. All right, as you can see, some of these down halts were nasty, so I don't like to play in here. But once you can see these solid blocks, the consolidation into close, you almost see this bull flag setup, okay, coming into close. The same thing happened with another runner that we had today, you know, AGC. As you can see, it ran early up in the morning, which was great, and it held support, and the channel got a little bit tighter, and then it ran a little bit after hours from about $14.50 all the way to $16. Let's see if it goes. This one goes after hours, because it does have a look to go after hours over $16. This would be a nice take. That was another good play for us. But getting back really quickly to SOPA, these low flow IPAs, low flow IPOs are very hot lately. You see a lot of influencers on, you know, Twitter pumping some of these, and it's just because the float is so small that any bit of buying pressure will really snap onto this. Plus, IPOs are great because by the time they come out, you find some stabilization. Then the company starts really trying to talk up their product or their service in order to get these things to bump up. So anytime you see some of these low float IPOs, and you can literally go to Market Watch, look up the float, you see some of these runs and some stabilization and consolidation, those are going to be good ads to have. Now, let's get into some of these infrastructure plays. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Lucid, which I really wouldn't call this an infrastructure play, okay, because it started to run just in the fact that they're finally making deliveries. This one's had a massive run all the way from about 27. I alerted this on either the 27th or the 28th of October, saying it was a good swing idea, and we got over $20 from that swing. So that was a monstrous run. And it is a bit overextended. I wouldn't go into chasing it right now. If you look at the market cap on Lucid right now, it's about 75 billion, and they don't have any numbers out there yet, and there's no guidance. Now, I believe this one is still holding up because they're waiting for their earnings, which is coming up in just the next week, and they're going to look for some outlook. Okay, what is the bottom line looking at? What is their guidance? How many vehicles do they see being delivered next quarter, quarter over quarter, year over year, and so forth? And are they going to be able to hit those numbers? And don't forget, Lucid, which is one CCIV, it did the same thing. It ran all on news. There was no fundamentals yet behind this. It ran all on news, and then it pulled back very, very hard. All right, so keep that one in mind. It did pull back a little bit today. But let's get into a little bit deeper into the infrastructure. Something like Blink right here, okay? It ran up. This one was capitalized great. $31 all the way up to 40, and it came back down to 35. You've got Caterpillar, which is a little bit stronger company, came back down as well. What other one did I have? Oh, Plug Power. I don't think Plug didn't come down that much. And there was a few other ones, but let's get into Blink specifically. And I want to talk about everything when it comes to infrastructure plays. So when we look at this chart, if we jump over just to the 5-day, 5-minute chart, it just sold off right from the beginning. And a lot of you are asking, well, why did it sell off? And I want to explain this. So every single stock, and there's more, I'm not going to go over every single one, but every single stock that ran because of this infrastructure bill, it ran on news, okay? And what I mean by that is there's no signed deals, okay? There's no partnerships. All right, the government didn't say we selected ChargePoint, to install 500,000 charging stations. Okay, ChargePoint might not even be used. Blink might not even be used. There's no partnership yet, okay? It's also dealing with the government, which means, one, we don't know when these deals are actually going to happen. And then on top of it, we don't know when or how these companies are going to get paid. Because anytime there's a government contract, you're at the mercy of they pay you whenever the hell they want to pay you. And that's part of Palantir's biggest issue. And what investors see with Palantir is the fact that a lot of their contracts are government contracts. All right. And when government cuts spending, it cuts it like that. And, we just keep on printing money, but it takes these contractors a while to get paid. Okay. So you do have that part. You also have the part of, like I said, you have no idea which contractors, okay, products, suppliers they're actually going to use, or when the infrastructure deal is even going to come into effect. When I talk about a 3-year plan, 3 years is a really, really long time. So this is a type of play that moves strictly off news. All right. And when you look at Blink, something that was a little of a lower float, had a little lower market cap, it ran higher. This is why you saw this, 30% run, yesterday versus something, like Caterpillar, which, had a play into it. But Caterpillar's a well-established company, and they only saw about a 6% run. Okay. Or other companies, for example. But keep that in mind going forward. I do believe a lot of these plays are going to see some benefits. Also, with the green initiative, it's just a little bit slower. But as long as you guys can understand that why they're running, all right, was it a deal? Was it a partnership? Is there money back to it? Or is it just news? Is it speculation? Okay, and that's exactly what this was. It was just news. It was just momentum. It was just hype. It was just an area where investors can turn, dump their money into, and then slowly get out of. So just I hope that video kind of helped everybody out, and why certain stocks, why that earnings call, Roblox ran today. Take a look at your low flow I don't want to say IPAs, low flow IPOs, because they've been running lately. Okay, and then anything that is running off of news, when there's money behind it, that's power. When there's contracts behind it, that's power. When it's news, expect some of that. Okay, expect some of that pop and fade. It might last a little bit longer than just one day. But just remember to yourself, it's news. It'll really help you feel a little more comfortable on the positions you're getting into, and then also taking profits. All right. If someone got into Lucid at, $28, all right, I didn't expect it to run to $48, and got out of it at 35, you might think to yourself, oh, I could have made this and that, but there's no numbers yet behind Lucid. Okay. So don't have any shame in taking profit when it comes to plays that are running off of, news or speculation, okay, or forward outlooks that don't yet have any dollars behind them. So, guys, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.